everybody and welcome. I am so glad that you're here. Today's gonna be really awesome because we have so many seeds to plant, and I have promised you guys that I was gonna follow up with the spruce because I know that many people like the spruce videos. I have a spruce tips videos, a spruce recipe video, how to collect the spruce seeds, and that's the video that many people have commented that they want to know about the follow-up of the seeds. But because I just get busy and I have always so many things in my head of creativity and stuff that I want to do, so I'm always doing something, so I haven't actually got into sitting down and doing the seeds, but I have now, and I'm gonna do it with you guys. Now for the spruce seeds, I have shown you how to collect the spruce seeds from the cone. You can either do it, where you're collecting them during September usually, or you can actually do it by just collecting the spruce cone, just let it air dry, and then just shake the cones and that's it. If not, you can actually then peel it, and I show you in a video how to peel the cone and then shell by shell remove then the seeds, which is really easy, and then you get to see exactly how many seeds you're getting. So anyways, I did get the seeds, and so I have some seeds over here, and the seeds for the spruce plus many other seeds, they do require a process of stratification. So the process of stratification is basically that you're trying to give the conditions to the seeds of what would usually happen in the natural environment. So if you were not to collect the seeds, what would happen? So the seeds would be then in a cold environment for a few months. So that's what you need to do, because the spruce cones, they drop into the floor, and then in the floor, they go through rainy seasons and cold season, and they get, very damp environment. So you want to try to recreate that. So what you do first is you can do the dry stratification, which would be then to take the seeds and put it then in a cold place for a few months, 2 to 3 months. So usually it's September, October, November, December, January. So almost 5 months. You can put it then in a cold environment for the dry process. That's, depending when you got the seeds. So I got my seeds, I would say like in October. This actually, I got them in November 28th. And so I only left it in the garage, which is not a heated environment, it's cold. So it's basically like you have it in the fridge, but you can actually put it in the fridge if you want, or you can put it also in the freezer. And so that's just put it in a Ziploc bag with nothing, no water, no nothing. It's just a dry stratification. So just giving that period of a chuck so that the seed says, hey, I'm going through stress, so I'm almost getting ready now to the time to actually then grow. Now, after a few months that it has gone through that period of dry stratification, then you can do the following. If you're not ready to put it outside and cultivate it because it's not warm enough, then you can then do the wet stratification. So the wet stratification will be then to put the seeds in a little towel with a little bit of water, tiny little bit of, moist environment. Put in a Ziploc bag and put it then in the put it in the fridge then for a few months, usually until April, right? So let's say that I do it now, which is February, so it's gonna be then February, March, April, 3 months almost, in the fridge for stratification. That's the wet stratification. But I'm not gonna be doing that. I think I'm gonna take some of them and do that method as well. So if I do, I'll show it in here. If not, then I'll just do them all by this method of just the dry certification, taking them and putting them directly in the soil and putting in indirect sunlight until I finally see some blooms. They take a long time for you to actually see some blooms. So I do have some cones that I actually got some seeds, and I just put them directly outside. So hopefully I can actually see some growth, because they do take a long time for you to actually see some growth. So they're very slow growing. So that's gonna be for the spruce. So what I'm gonna do is, because I also have some other surprise stuff from my friends, and I have had this for such a long time. It's just I haven't gotten to actually planting stuff because you know that I'm super busy always. So this is something really cute. It's called the Wildflower Seed Paper Plant, and in here you see how cute it is. So this paper thing says "Plant Me." It has a whole bunch of seeds impregnated to the paper. How cute is that? So this was given to me by my amazing friend Julie, and for my birthday, and I haven't actually gotten to planting it. So I am very, very excited because it doesn't tell you what seed it is. So this is gonna be a really good surprise. So I'll keep you posted and let you know what we grow out of this. So you guys know that I love to, recycle stuff. And so this is actually a tray from, I think, Chick-fil-A that I got a long time ago. And instead of throwing it away, I'm using it now as a planter. And what I'm gonna do, I just put some soil, which is just soil that we have from here, that we have got it from our actual yard. And I'm gonna take this and use it as an anchor because I'm gonna be putting two different things. So I'm gonna divide it over here. That's it. That's all I need. And so I'm gonna use this string. And so you just tie one end of the string and that will be your divider. You tie one end and then you tie the other end. Once I actually get the soil wet, it might actually get better. You have seen this before, that I have done it in other videos. Okay, there we go. Getting a little bit more tight. There we go. Okay, so now that we have this divided, so I know that this side is gonna be for something, this side is gonna be for something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna then put what it is in each one. Spruce seeds, and I'm gonna put in the back the date. So today is February 14, 2022. Yes, it is Valentine's Day. After working, I am taking some time for doing the seeds. So I'm gonna put this over here. And so happy Valentine's, late because you're gonna see this after Valentine's. And then in here, I'm gonna put the flowers. Well, it says wildflower. And I'm gonna put also the date, which is gonna be then February 14, 2022. Okay, perfect. So it's only gonna be a little bit that we need to plant it underneath the soil, just a tiny little bit. So putting it in there, covering it up. Grow beautifully. And then for the seeds, which are so cute, the same thing. You can see the seeds that I had it from November 28, 2021, and it was by the dry stratification, just for a cold environment. And these are the seeds. You can see how cute and beautiful they are. There's even one spruce. There you go. And so we're gonna take the seeds and we're gonna put it now directly in the soil. Now you don't need, just space them out a little bit because you don't wanna have the root system getting entangled. And just use your finger to press it just an inch down in the soil. You don't wanna have it too deep because then it's not gonna get sunlight and it's not gonna grow. Okay, so just a little bit. It's like if the environment, like if it would have been blown by the air, natural environment, it would not be too deep in the soil, right? So just barely, that's it. And I'm gonna give it a good water, soak it down with water. So I'm gonna do this side first. And I'll do this, soaking it with water, maybe once in a week, because I want it to be a little bit moist, the environment, but you don't want it to be too wet, okay? You don't want it to be like a pool, because then you're drowning it and it's just not gonna survive nothing in there. So then we did the spruce seeds and we did then the wildflowers. Now we're gonna go ahead and do some other cool stuff like this dogwood. So we have a flowering dogwood tree, and we also have a cherry blossom tree, and we have lots of other trees. So let me go into that. For the dogwood, for this flowering tree dogwood, I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow because it requires to have that hot soak. So I will be then when you boil the water for a few minutes, 10 minutes or so, and then after it has been boiling the water, then you go ahead and put your seeds in it and that boiling water with the fire off, and then you leave it overnight. So I did that already with this one, the cherry tree, because I knew it required that. I knew it. And then when I opened the package, that's the first thing that it says. It tells you very tiny over there. Before starting, hot soak your seeds. And that, you know, some trees, some seeds, they require that. We said about the process of stratification, the dry stratification versus the wet stratification. And this hot soak, it's like whenever there's like a fire in the woods, and after the fire, there's a whole bunch of biodiversity of plants that are growing that were not growing there before, and it's because it's plants that they require, and they were waiting to have that specific temperature that would like melt or stress the coat of the seed to tell the seed, hey, this is now is the time for you to grow. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm just gonna do exactly as it says. I have never purchased this kind of stuff, you know, these packages. It says that it's 100% guarantee. And it was given to me by some friends a long time ago, and I have not got into doing it. It says first we need to put the soil. So it tells you, it gives you the bag already. It gives you everything. It doesn't say that this has some holes, but I see that it has some holes. So you gotta be careful. So putting this, cutting it, putting that soil looks really sad over there. Then it says, and it has some cats. Look at that, so cute. It need to be wet through and through. Okay, so let's do that. Put in then some water. We're gonna put the seeds in there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Put the seeds in there. There we go. And I'm gonna then put the perlite, which it gives you the bag already. And now by putting them in the fridge for 30 days, after soaking them in a little bit of water, which is the same thing that I would have done with the wet stratification, we're actually doing a wet stratification. Next it says, place your mini greenhouse into the fridge and leave it there for 30 days. Time in the cold, damp, dark environment prepares the seeds for germinations. After 30 days, then we remove from the fridge and put it then in a warm place. Okay, so when I actually remove it out of the fridge, I'll let you guys know. So I'm gonna go ahead and seal it, and I'll put the date over here, which is gonna be February 14, 2022, and this is the flowering cherry tree. So I'll just put cherry tree. So cool, we did one. Yay! So the process that we did, super cool for the cherry tree. I'm gonna repeat the same process also for the dogwood, and I'm gonna also repeat a similar process of wet stratification, which is very similar to this, also for the spruce, just to see all the different ways to grow it, because I always like to do it very naturally. Literally, I just throw it, the seeds outside, and it grows. I did it with some of the what is it, the maple tree. I did that, and I did that also with another berries. I don't remember the name right now, but I know that I have done it before. Just throw it over there and just let it grow. Because that the actual natural process that you're trying to create with, you know, putting it in the fridge and the freezer and all that kind of stuff is exactly the same process that happens in real life. The only thing that you need to do is try to protect it from the birds, that they love seeds and stuff like that, especially when they're hungry in the winter. So just cover it with a little bit of mulch, protect it, and you're good to go. So I have another present from one of my best friends ever, for real, my vieja. And so anyways, so this was a bonsai kit, which I actually tried to grow it with the material that the soil that I brought, and it did not went that well because it just dries very quickly. I don't have the time to pay attention to water them, so I'm actually gonna be using it, recreating it with the soil from my house, from the environment from my house, which is very moisty, really full, rich in material, organic material. And so I am hopeful that it's actually gonna grow. So I still have some seeds that are in the package, because it brings you multiple different little packages. And so what I'm gonna do is just take the seeds, because you don't have to do anything of stratification or nothing like that with these. So I have the Pizia Mariana, and then I have here Jacaranda. This has a lot of seeds. I like that. Give you just 2 or 3 seeds is so sad. And my soil already had previously soaked it with a little bit of water, so I'm good. And I have then the Pinus aristata. The last one, the Pinus stombergi. I like that name. Stombergi. Sounds Italian. Okay, so we got those, and we still have one more to go. And then the last one is this poppy seeds, which also was a present. So all the plants that we have been planting today, all the seeds were present that I have had. I haven't had the time to actually plant them, except for the spruce seeds that we collected. And so we're gonna see how it goes. But anyways, for this one, let's see, it is just directly to plant it, blah, blah, blah. Yep, just directly planted in there, and that's it. It's a California poppy. Again, if these plants actually grow nicely, I don't have an issue with them, then I'll link the kits in the description down below, because I don't want to link something that it actually does not work. So let's see. Now this has lots and lots of seeds. You see, something like this is good. This is really good, because even if you have trial and error, it doesn't work, you still have hundreds of seeds in here that more than likely one of them is gonna grow, and then you can keep on dividing or whatever, right? So this one, I like it a lot, which was given to me to one of the great friends. Angela. Okay, I cannot actually open this. Has a tape over there. I'm gonna have to resort to using the scissor. There we go. So what I'm gonna do is soak it first with water. Let the soil soak with water. Okay, now it's good. And now we can go ahead and put the seeds. So look at those seeds, how cute they are, and tiny, tiny. So I'm gonna put a whole bunch. the rest goes back again to the back. And I'm gonna use this to cover them. You don't need to cover like too much. It's just, you know, a little layer. That's all you want. And we're gonna write that this is gonna be the California puppies. And this was then also February 14, 2022. Get in there. Now we're good. So look at all the amazing things that we're growing. I'm gonna keep you posted and I'll follow up. This is gonna take a long time for it. Now that they're planted in here, you know, in the soil, and I have it in direct sunlight, I would expect that in a few months, I would see them grow. So let's say 3 months, 4 months, I would see some growth. Because I already had that process of stratification and all that kind of stuff for a few months now, 5 months or so. So it should be ready very soon for us to see a little bit of growth, tiny little bit of growth, and then we can slowly but surely, a few inches in growth and so. So this is gonna be a process of love, but you know that I love to do a lot of division, propagation, and that's how we have been growing lots and lots and lots of stuff in here. So let me show you what I have in the back, because I know that somebody's gonna ask me, so I'm gonna show you then what we have been growing. So we have lots of peppers in here. Don't even ask me which pepper it is, because we do grow lots of the big peppers and tiny peppers. You see that there's one already growing over there. But we have had like a whole bunch of peppers in here. Right now, because it's cold environment and it's not that sunny, that's why it looks so sad. But it has grown a lot, and I expect it to grow like a little tree, because the more time it passes, then the trunk gets more thick, like something like this. You see that it's a little bit more thick. So these are all peppers, and it's really long, as you can see. And I'm gonna, you know, just give it support with some branches, and that's it. And you see that there's also the society garlic, which I have the society garlic also growing outside, but it's perennial. You know, it goes into dormancy for a while and then it comes back again outside because it's zone 7. But in here inside, it just, you know, it grows all year long. So I love it. It tastes fantastic, you know, just like garlic, and it looks like grass. It's really, really cool. I think that in the middle we actually have turmeric growing. I think that this one over here is a turmeric, this plant. So we have a turmeric growing in there. We have the basil, which I divided it, and you know, I have a new baby growing as well. I think that this is the surprise squash, but it happened the same thing last year. And the squash that we ate were actually seeds that germinated in a random pot. So I need to transplant this outside once the, you know, the temperatures get better. And this is a baby aloe vera. We have, as usual, I always say the ending of the lettuce and put in some water, and then you get some baby lettuce to enjoy. Over here we have then our aloe vera that you know that I use it so much, and I have a whole playlist of aloe vera. And you see that there's another baby growing over here on the side. And this is the rosemary, I believe. And we are gonna be planting that outside because I just love it so much. And in here in the center, then we have the pothos plant, and it's majestic, beautiful. And I need to do more cuttings of it, because I always take some cuttings and give it away to people. And so you see how pretty it is. And there's a video about this plant already in YouTube, so you can check it out if you would like. And in here I also am growing some onions. So those are some onions over there, and you see how long and big it is. And in the center there is a lemon tree. So this is a lemon tree, which I'm very excited to see how it comes out. And this is the propagation from the basil. So you see that there's some basil already over there. And I have a video of how to propagate and also, you know, grow more basil from one basil plant. And I think that this one over here, this baby over here, I think that this is an orange tree, but I don't know, it doesn't look that great. So let's see if it's right. And we have way more plants around the house, lots of edible plants around the house, which I will show you then another day because another tour because the video is gonna be too long. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I love to plant, you know, plants all the time and talk about plants all the time, but for whatever reason, it takes me so long to just sit down and just, you know, sit down and do the seeds. And so having you guys in the community and being my friends and being so awesome, and I know that you guys enjoy, you know, what I'm doing, and you enjoy also the seeds and the planting and all the stuff just like I do. So it's so cool. It's like sitting down with your friends or family and just talking about plants, and it makes me just, you know, motivates me to actually doing it. So thank you guys. You are all incredible. I love you so much. I'll see you again next Tuesday. Enjoy the day and enjoy the miracles. Thank you so much for being part of the community. And if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. Bye, guys.